God fucking commies.
Communists are everywhere.
God fucking Chiefs. Hi, welcome back to the Fumble Forecast, week 16 with Tom and Mark. And what a fucking week it's been.
I just want to start out this week, Mark, and no game in particular, though we will bring it up during a very specific game we talked about. The refs this week were out of pocket in every single game. And normally it's like there's a couple of really dog shit calls here and there. Every game had awful calls this week. Like I'm talking game impacting dog shit calls.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a few in specific that I'm sure we'll get to in just a moment. But I want to let you have the floor here.
All right.
You're like, Tom, if you want to host, just say so.
No, I know what you want to talk about, Tommy. So let's just get it out of the way.
Yeah, the Giants.
Yeah. Smart ass. Eagles in Washington.
Not even what I was going to talk about first, but we could go there. I wanted to talk about the Texans Chiefs.
Oh, okay. No, we can do Texans Chiefs.
I believe it was the Texans Chiefs, where they had that fumble touchdown that they stripped from the Chiefs, and it was taken from them by the biggest bullshit penalty I've ever seen. Here. Like, the thing here is that it's arguable, but if it was any other quarterback, they absolutely would have taken the fumble from them. All right, but let's jump back into the Eagles like you wanted to originally talk about, because obviously that's our game of the week every week.
Yeah. I just want to say this, and Tom, I know you'll love this.
Yeah, and I already know what you're gonna say. I'm ready. Come on, let them have it. Let them have it.
To all you fucking haters, do you see now how important Hurts is to this team? Do you understand now? Do you understand? And you know what, to be completely fair, at the beginning when he came in, Kenny wasn't looking too bad. Sure, fine. But as the game went on, they just couldn't get it done. And you know who could have gotten it done? Hurts. Yes, we lose QB1. That's gonna change your entire offense. But what the fuck, guys? Hurts is the guy for this team.
That's what I'm fucking talking about, Marcus.
And also, I just want to fucking say this. I understand that with Hurts going out, you're not very comfortable having Kenny run the brotherly shove. Why aren't you giving it to Saquon on 4th and 1? Because at the very least, you know he will get a yard.
So, let me jump in here for a second. For the uninitiated, also known as morons who don't know what they're talking about, a lot of them, especially in Philadelphia, the fans of the Eagles, hate Hurts. And the reason that they hate Hurts is because they claim that he can't throw the ball, or that he gets sacked way too often, or that he holds the ball too long. Two things. Well, a couple of things, actually. I want to focus on here. Holds the ball too long. Gets sacked a lot. I'm including those are the same thing. And number two, that he can't pass the ball. So, Hurts, as a quarterback, has one of the lowest interception rates right now of any quarterback in football. Am I right or wrong?
I believe so.
He's thrown like one interception since week 4, I think. So he's doing pretty good in the turnover department. Kenny Pickett couldn't even do that for one game. He threw an interception the second he came out. Also, if you notice, if you watch real closely, Kenny Pickett was holding the ball just as long as Jalen Hurts does. Almost as though the wide receivers aren't schemed to be open very well. Who'd have guessed? I've only been saying that the entire season. Another thing is that Saquon Barkley wasn't having his best game after Jalen Hurts went out, right? We could agree on that.
Yeah.
What this means is that running backs do much better when you have a quarterback that is a running threat. And the reason that that's the case is because one of the players on defense, when you have a running quarterback, is normally set to spy the quarterback, okay? That kind of a little bit frees up the running back to run a little bit better, especially when you're running the plays that the Eagles like to run a lot, the RPOs, which stands for run pass option. If you're running those and you're running play action, they will struggle to stop one of the two of them because they have to keep an eye on Jalen Hurts, right? However, Kenny Plunkett, you don't have to, that guy couldn't run to save his life. I might be able to outrun Kenny Plunkett. And that's not like, I'm not trying to boost myself here. He's just not a fast guy. So, I think that that's the drop off that we really saw there. Having Jalen Hurts as the starting quarterback on the team makes every player around him better.
Mm-hmm.
The wide receivers are better. The running backs are better. The quarterback is better. The O-line seems to hold people better. It's just better. Though, asterisk here, I do want to be fair. They didn't exactly have a game plan that was ready for a quarterback like Kenny Pickett when Jalen Hurts went out, right? So it's not really fair to compare this one performance and say, oh, Kenny Pickett is just dog shit. I actually have some faith in Kenny Pickett, and I'm really expecting in this game against the Cowboys next week that with a game plan that's geared towards his strengths, I think that Kenny Pickett will show us a little bit more.
No, I completely agree. I did really like though that I called his interception. It's like as long as you don't throw a pick, you will be Kenny Pickett instead of Kenny Pick'ems. But
Kenny
then he
pick
threw
me.
the pick. Yeah, and also just to just to confirm, of starting quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts has the third lowest interceptions.
Yeah.
At 5.
Who's 1 and 2?
Lamar is at 2 with
That
4.
makes a lot of sense.
And then Aiden O'Connell is at 1 with
Well,
it's split between Justin Herbert and Aiden O'Connell.
yeah, but
Both
didn't Aiden
both
O'Connell
at
only
3.
play like 4 games?
But he's the starter for the Raiders, isn't he?
Yeah, but I thought he only played like 3 games. I thought he was injured.
No, Minshew's the starting quarterback.
Yeah, so wait, he has stats though. Are these for last year?
No, Aiden O'Connell's been playing.
He's just the
No,
backup.
yeah, because Minshew's injured.
Yeah, so he
Yeah.
doesn't. That doesn't count.
Yeah, no, I was mistaken.
All right, so Justin Herbert has the lowest interception percentage then.
Yes.
Gosh. Makes sense. I mean, the top 3 people there, you probably could have guessed them if you really wanted to. And one more time, that is Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, and who else?
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, especially Lamar and Hurts, they have pretty similar game plans.
Yeah, and it's not hard it's not easy to throw an interception when you have a god-like running back to your side.
Yeah, or that you can run yourself.
True.
Dude, by the way, oh, well, this is next week, but it's relevant to our conversation. So, in the game that the Ravens played
Oh,
on Christmas, at the end, he ran in a touchdown, and like just broke one off and ran a touchdown in against the Texans. And they asked him about it in an interview after the game, and he said, I was literally just jogging. I wasn't even actually running." That's BM, dude. Like, you already beat them 31-2. How are you gonna talk about it? Like leave him alone. He's already dead.
Jackson said that or Henry?
Lamar Jackson said that.
Lol. Yeah.
He said, "I was just jogging. I wasn't even running."
And again, speak it again for next week, but I just gotta like since you brought it up in that Ravens game when King Henry gets sacked there in the end zone and gives up a safety. The only points that the Texans score that day, I I felt so bad for him. It's just like the game, like you can see the game's like ending. Every Ravens laughing, they're happy, smiling. Lamar Jackson's dabbing people up. He's making jokes, and you just see King Henry on the bench.
Yeah, he just wants to kill.
And I just felt so bad for him.
Well, that's why he's so good. He's got that killer instinct, dude. He doesn't let up ever. And that's why he's good. So, in other news this week, we'll jump back to the Eagles, but I wanted to report on something before I forgot about it. We had our first shutout of the season this week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Packers shut out the Saints 34-0.
Yep.
That's a yuckies. Oh man, that is a big yuck.
And I need to apologize for ever saying that the Saints were kind of good.
Yeah, after week 2, they kind of just dropped. After they met the Eagles, they kind of just fell apart.
Yeah.
But yeah, they another thing that I noticed this past couple of weeks is that the Vikings are kind of slowing down a little bit.
I was actually going to suggest that about the Bills as well.
Well, I told you already, they had their Super Bowl victory. They beat the Chiefs for the first time ever in a million years. That is their Super Bowl. They will not win anything else.
Well, I mean, they keep winning.
What?
They won games since that.
Oh, I know. I'm talking about like real games that matter.
Oh, you
Like
mean
they're not
playoff?
going to the Super Bowl, is what I'm saying. Not because I don't think that they're good. I think they're a Super Bowl caliber team. They're not going to beat the Chiefs a second time in the playoffs. It's not going to happen.
Fuck.
They already had their Super Bowl and drank their champagne. They're done. Next year, maybe they'll have a chance now that they finally got over the hump and did what they've been trying to do for years, which isn't win a Super Bowl. They've been trying to beat the Chiefs once. And next year, maybe they'll have a chance if they can manage to get an O-line, a running back, some wide receivers, a whole new defense, completely brand new from the ground up, and better coach, better coordinators, a whole new front staff that doesn't just trade away the best receiving pick in the entire draft for absolutely no reason at all whatsoever to pick up a bum. And then maybe we can talk about the Bills being a Super Bowl ready team. But I'm sorry, Josh Allen is the only player on their entire roster. He is.
No, I understand, but like, why did they trade away Worthy?
I don't know. He's real good too.
I know. Again, talking about week 17, I placed a Christmas Day bet, right?
You stupid asshole.
Yeah, I know. But
You ruined your own
every
Christmas.
yeah, but for the most part, everything cleared except for one, which is the Steelers not winning. But
Oh, the poor Steelers.
but I took like I saw I saw Xavier Worthy for first overall TD, and I'm like, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
And you
And
got it?
what? Yeah, I got it.
Nice. The stars aligned for you to get one part of your ticket wrong.
Yeah.
So, um, something else that I wanted to say about Josh Allen. He is literally the only person on the entire Bills roster, including their front staff, their ownership, their GM, their coach. He is the only person on the entire team. It's not close. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, listen, I ain't trying to be that guy or nothing, but Josh Allen is quite literally carrying his team to the playoffs with nothing. Literally fucking nothing. And he's breaking records by himself, actually. And
Mhm.
I feel like if you dragged and dropped him on a team like the Eagles, where we have A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, the best O-line in football, and the best running back in football, I feel like you would see a Hall of Fame quarterback emerge instantly. I'm just throwing that out there. Because
Yeah.
he could do everything. And quite frankly, I think his career would last longer here, too. Because he wouldn't need to run as often. He could just chill in
Mhm.
the pocket behind the best O-line in a decade. And just run that shit. Like I said, though, no insult to anybody else. I just think Josh Allen is... I'm going to go out and say that I think Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the NFL right now. He's got to be.
Yeah. No, I'd agree.
And another thing that I wanted to talk about, again, before we got back to the Eagles, while I'm thinking about the Chiefs. And we're talking about quarterbacks right now. Patrick Mahomes, I'm not sure that he's going to have the longevity that we all hope that he does. And the reason that I say that is
Well,
because,
not all of us hope for.
I mean, come on, it's cool watching top tier quarterback football. Come on now.
No, it's frustrating.
You guys take everything too personal. Anyway, I am starting to see Patrick Mahomes just have injuries left and right, especially in his lower legs. Like he's getting those lower leg sprains a whole lot. Those build up over time, dude. Like
Hmm.
he needs to be careful. I'm not so sure that he'll last as long as we all expect. And yeah, so let's head back to the Eagles now. Something that I wanted to talk about, and this is a black spot on the Eagles here. Nick Sirianni was a little bit out of control in this game. He actually had to be escorted away from the field by his own staff after the game ended. Um, so I'm sure all of us remember Big Dom from last season, the security guy. He had
Yeah.
to usher Nick Sirianni into the locker room because he went at Zach Ertz like a pit bull for no reason. So the game ends, and Zach Ertz goes up to Nick Sirianni because Nick Sirianni coached him for 1 year. And Zach Ertz goes for a high five, and he's like, "Hey, coach, good game. Yeah, this was great. I love Philadelphia. Yeah." And Nick Sirianni said, "Fuck you. You only got one catch in this game. You made no production, and the win had nothing to do with you. Go fuck yourself." And then they started really getting in each other's faces. And Big Dom had to escort Nick Sirianni away from Zach Ertz. I, I am okay with a little bit of the jibber jawing, but that was just disrespectful. That was rude. for no reason at all. Like, Zach Ertz was trying to be a nice guy, and he just dogged his ass. It's insane to me. Especially, you have to remember, guys, Zach Ertz was on our Super Bowl team. You can't be rude to him. That's illegal. In Philadelphia city law, it is illegal to be rude to one of the winners of the Super Bowl. So that one really struck a chord with me. He needs to tone it down a little bit there.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't hear that story, did you, Mark?
No, this is completely new to me.
Isn't that fucking crazy? He did publicly
Yeah.
apologize, though. But that's not good enough. Like,
I know. No, I agree. It's just like
you can't do that.
Makes me very worried. Like
It's just, here's my thing. If you're gonna act like that, you better fucking win the Super Bowl this year. If you're gonna act like that.
yeah.
Because that's a lot, brother. Like, if you're gonna get me to buy in to you acting like a lunatic on the sideline with a Super Bowl hero who might end up even being an Eagles Hall of Famer, you better win the Super Bowl. You better have at least as many rings as that guy.
Yeah.
Wild. But yeah, and so now it's time to jump into the refs that we wanted to talk about here in the Eagles game. So, unpopular opinion amongst Eagles fans, there were god-awful calls on both sides.
Yeah, no.
I ain't gonna
I
lie.
think that's fair.
Those pass interference calls that they were gifting to A.J. Brown, there was only one of them that was real. Don't know what the fuck that was going on there. And two, the lack of a call on that false start on the very last game of the play of the game that won the Commanders the game with the touchdown. They had a false start and the refs didn't call it. And it was the most blatant and obvious false start I have ever seen. The guy literally stood all the way up and then went back down. Like, that's a false start.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it clearly had an impact on the game. I think, and I was talking to Mark a little bit about this off record, but I think what happened is the refs saw that the defense didn't react to it at all, because normally when a false start occurs, the defense jumps up and goes after them. But because the defense was disciplined and didn't react at all to the false start, I think they didn't bother calling it, which is bullshit. But here we are, and it is a fact that the Commanders won. So we have to deal with that. No king reigns forever, little Marky.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, Saquon got 150 yards. Yeah, woo!
Yeah. And you know what? I just want to reiterate this because I said this at the beginning of the season. The Commanders are not going to suck this year. And you know what?
We all said it.
They haven't. And I want to congratulate them. You know what? A dog shit team that didn't really deserve to be dog shit. They still need to be worse than the Eagles, obviously. But they didn't deserve the bullshit that they got. And I'm happy that they're finally getting a W.
Yeah. Also, I'm just saying their kick returner, Luke McCaffrey, had 184 yards on just kick returns.
Yeah, no.
Special teams got to step it up.
Yeah, I did want to bring that up. Again,
That's a 30-yard per return average.
Praise to the commies. They play all sides of the ball played well. The Eagles' defense and special teams let up some big plays and
Yeah, well, I
that
mean,
shit up.
when your best fucking player gets ejected for talking, I mean, what do you expect to
Yeah.
happen? Or one of your best
What
players. I
did you
still don't know what
ever?
the fuck he even said.
Okay, I was about to ask if you ever figured out what happened to get him ejected. Yeah, that was bullshit. I don't know exactly what happened, obviously. But like why are players getting ejected for jawing at each other?
Because
Unless
it's
he
a
said
penalty.
eh, I dislike that. Like unless somebody says something really offensive.
Insane. That's how it's supposed to
Mm,
be.
Like
It's supposed to be that it has to be crazy enough in order to um be like completely inappropriate. Like if you tell them you're gonna fuck their mom, the refs don't normally care. But if you say something crazy like the N word and start like really going great, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Like they're gonna flag you. But the thing is, for the first one, I don't understand how it wasn't offsetting penalties or that they both got an unsportsmanlike call. Because, quite literally, the guy fucking ripped the helmet off of CJGJ's head. How do you not
yeah.
get a penalty for that?
No, it's just repayment for not flagging Quinion during the Steelers game when he jumped into the fray and punched the guy that was pushing Slay out of the end zone.
Yeah, so according to Reed
The
Blankenship, who was standing right next to him at the time he got ejected, I have his back. I'm not going to go into detail. I was standing right there, but he didn't really say anything that should have gotten him ejected. Yeah, at that point in time, I thought that it wasn't his fault. At the end of the day, it's not my call, it's their call. That's insane. So we don't know exactly what he said, but he gave him the middle finger after they ejected him, and he's going to get fined for it.
he gave the refs a middle finger.
Yeah, he flipped him off on his way out.
Fucking wimp ass league.
Yeah, let's hope that they aren't our ref team in a playoff game now. But yeah, so all right, so what else did you want to talk about for the Eagles game?
No, that's it. Like, let's just clean shit up. Go into the Cowboys game with a plan
And let's hope
for
that
Kenny
Jalen Hurts
Pickett.
comes back soon.
Yeah,
We can't be missing him for the first week of the playoffs, dude.
yeah. I think he should be fine. He did miss practice week on Thursday this week because we're recording on the 27th.
Yeah, we're this is
Yeah,
Thursday.
this is Friday.
Oh, this is Friday.
He did miss practice yesterday, so we may not see him for the Cowboys game. And to be honest, if as long as we win on the Cowboys game, I'd rather not see him on the Giants game too. Let's keep
Dude,
him. What?
I you know how I listen to sports radio very frequently.
Yeah.
I heard multiple callers say that Jalen Hurts isn't going to be in the game against the Cowboys. We should just sit all the starters because we're going to lose anyway. Fuck it. And then just beat the Giants. Just beat them. Why not win against the Cowboys and then sit them against the Giants? It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Like I'm proud to be an Eagle. I am. But some of our fans are the
They're
most
dumb
brain dead,
motherfuckers.
most brain dead people.
I think every
Like,
fan base has that, but I feel like we got a lot of dumbasses.
yeah, it's like,
Who the fuck wants to sit the starters in week 16? Like, dude, the Lions could still lose both of their games.
hey, and you know, like, obviously you don't subscribe to it, but the whole Eagles Cowboys rivalry that, takes over the city, you want to sit the starters for the Cowboys that
I
are
don't think
coming
they would
to.
care.
You don't think so?
We've done it before. Like,
When they.
let me put it to you this way: if we had a guaranteed lock on the number one
Oh,
seed in
well,
the
yeah.
conference, sit them
Yeah,
for the
no.
next 5 weeks if you need to.
No, I agree, but we don't have it locked up.
No, I know. I'm saying this is stupid. Why would you ever sit the starters in this situation? Especially since, dude, like, here's the thing. If you say, all right, guys, we're just going to lose this game, that sticks in their heads. You can't just, like, anybody who thinks that, please never go into a career that involves personnel management on any level because you couldn't handle it. You have to consider how the players drive. Like, just last week, we were talking about Jalen Carter and how I was worried. Don't tell him to tone it down too much because that's a big part of his game. You don't want him to fall off because he was scolded. It's a tight balance that you have to manage. And in order to manage it, you have to know how people feel. You have to have a pulse on each individual player. And quite frankly, if you were to sit those players next week when things are still up in the air like they are, I don't know if you'll be able to charge them up to go into the playoffs. I'm just being real. Like, I'm at a point where we win this week, we lock up the division. Like, we would have to win and the Commanders would have to lose and we'd have the division locked. I still say play the starters against the Giants. There is a chance we get the number one seed still, which means that we get a bye week. You can rest when you win the bye week.
Speaking
Pardon?
of, I was just looking. Speaking of, do you think that the you think the commies are gonna win
Um,
in week
I haven't
17?
really
They're gonna.
looked ahead
They're
yet.
hosting the Falcons. Falcons are going to. The Falcons are going to Washington.
Have the Falcons clinched? No, they
No.
haven't.
No,
Falcons are gonna
nobody.
win.
Oh yeah.
Falcons are gonna win.
Okay.
Wait, what time is the game?
Now,
8:20
prime
on a
time.
Sunday. The Falcons are gonna win.
Yeah, but
Kirk Cousins doesn't lose in prime time.
they're not starting Kirk.
What? Is it Penix?
Yeah. They
Really?
I believe they sat Kirk for the rest of the season.
Why?
Mm.
They won.
I get, let's see. Mm. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
It's Michael Penix.
Yeah, no.
Wow. Okay. See, here's something that I did want to talk about podcasting for sports like this. I leave all these in where we go and look something up really quick. I don't edit them out. And I've had people be like, these guys are pretending to be sports guys. I can't believe they didn't know that this happened. Brother, you can't possibly expect me to follow every single team on every single detail. Like, I have a job.
Like, this isn't Like this isn't
Like
our
I could do
full-time
like
job.
7 teams real closely at most.
Like this isn't our full-time job. We're not making money off this.
They're just like,
This is
these guys are fucking morons. They don't know every detail about every single team. I'm sorry that I don't pretend to be something I'm not, like every other sports podcaster you watch. We can't possibly be expected to be a super expert on every single team. It ain't gonna happen. You
yeah,
start
and
paying me millions, it might happen, but I
it's
ain't getting paid millions.
and it's not like we're players either. Like we can talk about all the players that
Depends on
have
what
their
team you're talking about. I could be.
that that have their that have their podcasts, you know, like it's their job to be on top of matchups and how other teams are doing. That's literally their job to
I think I could
understand.
play for the Patriots
I think you could too.
as like a backup. I could be their backup tight end,
Yeah, I
who's
think you could.
assigned for just blocking detail. The only reason you put me on the field is to get a quick shoulder block on somebody who springs loose.
All right. Moving on. I just want to say congratulations, Panthers, eliminating the Cowboys before they even had a chance to play that day.
I told you Bryce Young was the shit. That man is
Yeah,
the
no.
whole drink.
Yeah, no. They, as long as they take what they've learned from this season, they have a shot next season to really make an impact.
All right, come on. Let's not. Come on now. Let's not
Like
get carried
what?
away. The Panthers. You
Mark
need to give them like 3 more years.
mark my words.
Oh no,
I'm locking it in right
not
now.
again. Please don't
I'm
tell me
lock
you're predicting a Panthers playoff appearance next season.
No, but
Oh,
I
okay.
will say it. I will say it right now. Over 500.
Dude, in that division, that's a playoff appearance.
True.
Like, dude, the 2 teams that are at the top of their division are 533 teams.
True.
But yeah, I another thing that I wanted to talk about is why Buccaneers. You really couldn't pull it together for 1 week. You had to let the Cowboys have another delusion win.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I do. I do want to call bullshit on that call.
I didn't watch that game.
That was.
Oh, I
That
know
was
exactly
some.
what you're talking about, where they pretended that it was a fumble and the Cowboys picked it up and ran it in.
Yeah.
That was total fucking bullshit. Baker Mayfield was like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah. No. Absolutely.
That was total bullshit.
That was
Jerry Jones
garbage.
called the refs really quick and said, hey, there's 20 million in it for you. The
Honestly.
absolute glory hole.
All right. Any other games you want to talk about?
From this week, no, not particularly. The Bears
All
didn't
right.
beat the Lions as I had hoped. The Steelers are now officially, because we watched their Christmas games already, they are on a 3-game losing streak now. So the
Yep.
Steelers have really fallen off beyond my wildest expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but let's talk about next week now, I think.
Yeah. So.
All right. What's your game of the week, excluding the games that already occurred?
Yeah. Um.
Because Chiefs Steelers would have been my game of the week.
I mean,
There's one really
any
obvious one.
the real obvious one is Green Bay in Minnesota.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna throw a little love towards Denver and Cincinnati. I think that might be a fun game.
Okay. Little unorthodox, but I'm into it.
Though I believe, I'm not entirely sure, that if Denver loses to Cincinnati, they get knocked out of the playoffs and
Who
Cincinnati
does?
takes Denver.
Denver gets knocked out if Denver wins?
No, if they lose.
Oh. You said win.
No, I said lose. I definitely said lose.
Yeah, whatever you say, big dog.
Shut the fuck up.
I think the Broncos will probably win that game.
I think so too, but I think
But they want the wild
Oh.
card spot, definitely.
I think of all of them, like this is gonna be a shootout.
Yeah, I think next season the Broncos are probably going to win the division.
I hope so.
Yeah. I
It's
think
not
that
gonna
we're
happen,
seeing
but I
signs of
hope
the
so.
Chiefs falling apart. But I think that the Broncos are just actually going to be that guy next season. I'm locking it in. The Broncos are going to defeat the Chiefs twice next season.
Ah, damn.
It is what it is.
Yeah, so if
But
the
yeah, my
Broncos
game of the week, little unorthodox here. I think that the Bills Jets is going to be a good game. I'm being dead serious.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good game. Jets don't like the Bills. Bills are starting to slip off a little bit. They don't want the Bills to walk into the playoffs. Nice.
I suppose that's true.
But yeah, if I had to pick a game of the week, it's probably Packers Vikings.
Okay. Alrighty then.
But I do think the Jets Bills is going to be a really good football game, especially for Bills fans. Like I think the Bills still win, but I think there might be a couple of injuries up in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen's leg goes flying across the field because he's the only player on the team getting crushed by 12 men at once. But yeah.
2
So,
more weeks.
what?
2 more weeks.
Sir. So, playoffs starting to happen here, Marky. It's time. I want you to lock in who the hell is going to win and appear in the Super Bowl. And you can't steal mine because you already know mine.
Yeah, you're gonna have to remind me what yours is.
I said that the Chiefs and the Eagles are going to appear in the playoffs and the Eagles are going to win.
In the Super Bowl.
Or, yeah, the Super Bowl. Might be. We need the Vikings and the Lions to lose this week, by the way.
I don't know. It's not gonna happen.
It could.
I can see the Vikings losing. I don't see San Francisco beating the Lions.
You never know.
Sure, any given Sunday, but I just don't see it.
Well, they might just walk in there expecting to win.
Sure.
It happens, dude. It's called a trap game.
I hate this because it's like the smart thing is to say the Chiefs, but
Well,
I don't
who
want to say
else
the
do you
Chiefs.
think?
I'm hoping it's not the Chiefs.
Yeah, but come on. I'm asking you what you actually think is going to happen. They're 15-1.
Chiefs Lions. I just
Really? I think
Right.
I think the Lions aren't going to be the NFC Championship.
Well, you said I can't take Chiefs Eagles. You fucking asshole.
Oh,
So
yeah, true.
So I have
Okay,
to
so your actual answer is Chiefs Eagles.
look. I still believe it's going to be a Lions Eagles conference.
I don't.
And that game is up in the air.
Not gonna
I
lie to you. I legitimately believe that the Packers will be in the NFC Championship game.
Hope not.
Why do you hope not?
I think they're a lot tougher than the Lions.
We already beat them once,
I know.
and we're better now. The team I want to play against the least in the playoffs is the Vikings and the Falcons. I don't. I know they're only 8-7, but the Falcons always have the Eagles' number. I don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that the Cincinnati Bengals are still in the hunt is disturbing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be Chiefs Eagles in the Super Bowl. The Eagles win it, and we have a Super Bowl here in Philadelphia again. But I think that the Lions don't even make it to the NFC Championship game. I think they're a one and done team for the playoffs.
I think so.
They have 22 injuries for their starters. They're just fucking smacked up, dude. Like, I think that if they were at 100% strength, yeah, instantly write them right in their Super Bowl team. But you can't tell me that with all these injuries that they've accumulated, you really believe that they are as good as they were at the start of the season. They're just taking attrition damage at this point. They are no longer biting kneecaps. Especially with a key loss in Aiden Hutchinson. That is a huge loss, especially come playoff time. Because the playoffs are where you really need your superstars, and he's their superstar.
True.
So I don't know, man. I'm just not optimistic about the Lions going into the playoffs here. I just don't think. I just don't think they're going to be that good. But I really don't want this to happen. But it's looking like we're going to catch Washington in the first round of the playoffs here. I don't want to play them.
Yeah.
I really don't want to play them.
Well, that's what it's looking like.
And who the fuck is going to win that division? Fucking the Rams? The Rams are going to win their division? How the fuck
Yeah.
did that happen?
You know.
Well, let's just run down the bracket really quick because I don't expect it to move a whole lot over the next 2 weeks. First game is going to be Minnesota and Atlanta. In Atlanta. What do you think is going to happen there?
Minnesota in Atlanta. Minnesota wins.
Okay. That would mean that Minnesota plays the Rams. Or the Rams. Minnesota plays the Lions in their next game. Then we have Green Bay in Los Angeles against the Rams.
I'd take Green Bay.
Take Green Bay? Yeah, me
100%.
too. It's not even a close competition for me.
Look, if one of the NFC North teams don't make it to the conference, if any of them don't make it, that division has failed.
Well, the Bears aren't going to make it.
I mean, of the ones that are in the playoffs, Tom. There's
Oh, that's what you mean.
There's three of them in the playoffs. If none of them get to the conference, they have failed.
No, I think the Packers are going to be it. And then Washington Eagles, who's going to win? It's in Philadelphia as of right now.
It'll be Philadelphia. We don't.
For me, it all depends on if Jalen comes back in time.
I think we. Well, of course, I want our Jalen back. I think we can still do it. at home against the commies. Against somebody else.
Okay. I mostly agree with you. Let's assume Jalen comes back for this.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume that he would probably be back by then. But Philadelphia wins. I think we both agree there. I think we agree on all three of those. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then we would have Minnesota, Detroit in Detroit. Who wins?
Minnesota, Detroit.
In Detroit. Oh, wait. It's impossible for the Eagles and Packers to get to the NFC Championship.
Huh?
We can't both get there. It's not possible.
Yeah, no.
So it would have to either be the Vikings or the Lions at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Vikings, Lions, or Falcons from that side of the bracket.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what their injury schedule is like. I don't know how many are going to be coming back in time for the playoffs. It's not looking good.
No.
Yeah,
Nobody important, at least.
Take the Vikings then.
Yeah, I think the Vikings are probably going to win that one. Okay. So what about Green Bay against the Eagles in Philadelphia?
If we have Hurts, easy win. If we don't, I don't know.
I don't know about easy win, but I think we do win. We already beat them in weirdo Brazil territory. Okay. So beating them here in Philadelphia should be a little easier, you would think. But you never know. That's a tough game, in my opinion. But I think the Eagles do win.
Mm-hmm.
Which means it would be the Eagles versus the Vikings in the NFC Championship game.
Mm-hmm.
Seems reasonable. Now let's flick to the AFC side. Pittsburgh, Houston in Houston.
What a shit game.
Yeah, it's the worst playoff game ever.
I don't know. I take the Steelers. I think
the Steelers win that hands down.
With TJ Watt playing and Patrick Queen, I think that the
I think they
Steelers
win.
defense. I think that the defense is just going to be too much for CJ, and hopefully Russell will be able to hold it together. To this,
Never know with that guy anymore.
true.
But no, I agree with you. Pittsburgh wins that. Okay, so Chargers and Ravens in Baltimore. Who wins? Yeah, Ravens. That one's an easy. That's the easiest pick of the entire bracket, I think. I don't think the Chargers have a chance in fucking hell. Not a snowball's chance. And then Denver Bills.
I think the Bills.
We finally disagree.
It's gonna be in Buffalo. I don't know. I don't know if Denver with a rookie is gonna be ready to take on Josh Allen at home. I mean, I'm all for it, but I'm not all for it because I think the Bills have are the best chance of stopping the Chiefs from entering. So I'd rather the Bills win.
I think, depending on who gets in at that 7 seed, it could be Cincinnati still, it could be the Broncos. If the Broncos get in, I think they beat the Bills and move on to the next round of the playoffs. If the Bengals get in, the Bills are marching right to the conference championship, baby. For some reason, I just have faith in the Broncos. I don't know why. It's not rational. I just like them. I like them to win against the Bills in the playoffs. The thing is, I think that Josh Allen, he's my favorite quarterback in football. I think I think he is number one best quarterback in football. thing with Josh Allen is he really is the only player on the team. And he's already done that for like 18 games going into the playoffs. He's done it 18 games in a row, being the only person on a professional football team. He's gonna break down. Like, you just can't keep going like that. It doesn't work. And in the playoffs, you really get to see how important a supporting cast of other players is. Like, in previous years, they had, like, Stephon Diggs and stuff like that. This year, he's got nothing. He's got Mac Hollins. So, yeah. But if it's Cincinnati, I think the Bills march right to the championship game.
Mm-hmm.
So then, after that, we would have Pittsburgh in Kansas City. What are you thinking?
Probably the Chiefs.
Yeah, the Chiefs win that. I don't think it's going to even be close. And then let's assume Denver's in the playoffs and wins. Well, you don't think that. But Ravens against Bills. Who wins?
Ravens in Buffalo.
Yeah.
And that's a tough one. I think if they stick to the plan of give Henry the ball, I think they
The
win.
Bills wouldn't have any answer for it. But they don't have any answer for anything because Josh Allen's the only player on the whole team.
Yeah. If they have to rely on a shooting match, I think the Bills might pull it out.
I think that if it comes down to a shootout, the Ravens are going to run away with it. Dude, Lamar Jackson is good.
No, I agree.
I think that if it's the Ravens and Bills, I think the Ravens pull it out. I don't think it's very close for me, but I think the Ravens probably pull that one out.
Mm-hmm.
And you're saying you think the Bills would pull it out?
Yeah.
Okay, so then we have the AFC Championship game. Who wins between Kansas City and the Bills? Or Ravens? For me, I say Chiefs no matter who they play because they're 15-1 and they're going to run right into the Super Bowl.
Yeah. For barring a significant injury to Mahomes, they're gonna win.
I don't think it would matter.
I think it does.
I don't. The Chiefs are stacked to their teeth in players and talent, especially on defense. And they have a genius mastermind head coach. Andy Reid is like the Bobby Fischer of football. I need a call, Mark.
Man,
Who is it, Mark?
I'm sorry.
Who is it that wins the AFC Championship game?
I told you.
Oh, you didn't say anything.
I said it's gonna be the Chiefs.
Oh, I didn't hear you. Okay, so Chiefs are going to win that. So who's going to win between Minnesota and the Eagles at the link?
I'm gonna take the Eagles.
So it's going to be a Chiefs-Eagles Super Bowl.
Yeah,
And who wins?
the Chiefs because it's going to be the exact same thing. It's gonna be the exact same thing. Mahomes is gonna throw a ball that's Xavier Worthy cannot catch. CJGJ is gonna tug on him a little, and they're going to flag him for DPI. Put him in the red zone, and they're gonna score.
I think that if it's the Eagles and the Chiefs, assuming that Jalen Hurts came back and they made it all the way, I think that the Eagles absolutely fucking dick down the Chiefs, and I don't think it's even remotely close. And I think they stick their cocks right up their ass. I'm more worried about the Bills playing the Eagles, to be completely honest with you. Like, if the Bills get to the Super Bowl against the Eagles, I'm actually kind of concerned. But if we're playing the Chiefs, I don't have any worries. I think we got a Super Bowl. Give me that second ring, big dog.
Yeah.
I just think our defense is just too good. Which is really strange because in 2022, we had that whole situation where we were getting like record sack numbers. But the thing is, we're not getting those record sack numbers this season. But I just feel like the defense is way better. I mean, we are the number 1 overall ranked defense in football. So I don't really have any concerns about the Chiefs because I feel like specifically their offense is a little weak. And I think Saquon rips off 3 touchdowns if we play the Chiefs. So
Yeah.
but yeah, that wouldn't be fun to play the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I honestly, can we just get the Chargers in the Super Bowl, please? Or Denver, or Pittsburgh, or Houston, any of them, anyone but the Bills or Chiefs, please. And I'm really not scared of the Ravens. I mean, the first time we played the Ravens, we kind of kicked their teeth in.
I'm being called.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I think that we're me and Mark seem like we're pretty much in agreement here, folks. We think that the Vikings and the Eagles are going to be representing the NFC side in the championship, and we're also going to see that the Chiefs and the Bills or Ravens. We differ a little bit there. I think Ravens. He thinks Bills for the AFC Championship game, but I think Chiefs are going to pull it out. Eagles are going to pull it out, assuming Jalen Hurts comes back in the first round of the playoffs. I'm going to have a Chiefs-Eagles Super Bowl again. Except this time, I think that the Eagles are going to pull it off. The script writers are going wild to make this happen right now. And yeah, so that's kind of where I'm sitting at right now. I'm thinking that there might be. I think that people are really downplaying the Lions 49ers game because the 49ers don't want to see the Lions get the number 1 seed clinched off of them. They don't want that. So I do think that they will play rather hard. I'm really a little bit up in the air about the Cowboys-Eagles game. It really depends on how well of a game plan they can put together for Kenny Pickett going into that game, but who knows? You never know. Colts Giants doesn't matter. Titans Jags doesn't matter. Raiders Saints doesn't matter. Broncos Bengals. I think the Broncos win that game. Chargers Patriots doesn't matter. Cardinals Rams matters. If the Cardinals win that game, I think they snatch it. They snatch the Rams away, right? I think they snatch it. Yeah, they hand it over to the Seahawks if the Cardinals win this week. Welcome back. Yeah, something we forgot to talk about is that the Cardinals and Rams play this week. If the Cardinals win, they kick the Rams out of playoff picture. Like the Seahawks take the division.
Oh. Damn.
I'm pretty sure. Unless there's tiebreakers that are gonna fuck the Seahawks. Where do the Seahawks play this week? Or is this their bye week? No, the Seahawks already beat the Bears.
Yeah.
And then if the Rams lose, they're tied. And then if the Rams lose next... Oh, then the Seahawks-Rams are the last game of the season for that division. So, yeah. We're going to have some interesting games this week.
Mm-hmm.
clinched wild card. 3 of them are in one division.
Yeah.
Why does it seem like recent years there's just been one division that just everyone from that division goes to the playoffs? And it's a random ass division every single time. Weird. All right, well, I think I got nothing else to say. What about you, Low Markey?
Nope.
All right,
Let's
well,
go Birds.
Burbies. Let's go, Burbies. Have a nice day. Remember, we love each and every single one of you. And thanks for joining us on this episode of the Fumble Forecast. You can find us anywhere where you watch your podcast, so long as they are YouTube and Spotify. Remember to share some clips of us with your friends. I promise it'll be cool and not cringe. And also, we will see you guys next week. Have a nice day, guys.